Hi everyone, this is the presentation of the last case study. I'm Fiona, and this is my content page that divided into 5 parts that's similar to all of you guys. University of Oregon has highly improved its performance mainly because of diversity. By receiving increasing number of applicants, having students coming from various regions has highly contributed to the success of the institution. However, there are some problems that experience in dealing with the students from various backgrounds. The letter has proposed cultural competency as among the ways to deal with the problem. Cultural competency requires the institution to provide services in relation to the various students coming from various backgrounds. It is taken into consideration the different needs of the diversified students. Oregon is not alone in the industry. There are many other universities, including University of Washington, um, um, facing the same problem. According to IFAC 2013, poor services will lead to a reduction of the performances. As insist in the letter, it is important to ensure the cultural competency, taking into consideration the interest of the diversified group in a way that anyone from these regions will be in a position to access the service in a comfortable manner and to apply the given knowledge to their respective countries. In this way, the university will be able to conquer the stiff competition. Cultural competency will take the institution to a high level of success, and at the same time, students will be able to enjoy learning from various perspectives through the concept of cultural competency. So, what are the causes and antecedents that for these problems? Among the major causes of the problems are different cultural beliefs and practices. Different people have their own ways of operating activities, and people have different cultural needs and different ways of doing things. Apart from diversified students, they actually also have diversify staff. In this way, decision making is never easy, and selecting the best ideas from multiple becomes another problem. Therefore, difficulties in implementing ideas are another cause of the diversified problem. Another thing, people are not sure about the outcome. University has been doing well from diversity. However, it is not clear whether cultural competence will take the institution towards the same direction or not. Therefore, there is the fear of the outcome. At the same time, it is contradicting that the organization acts in the interest of the diversified culture. The primary aim of the university is to maximize profit through the income obtained from the students. Focusing on the interest tends to shift the organizational aim, which might delay the organization from meeting the intended goals and objectives, and hence a limitation to the overall performance. So, what other information is needed? There's a need to understand how the university used to perform before the diversification. Were the number of students increasing? Such information will help the audience understand impact of diversity. At the same time, it is important to provide more information concerning diversity. It is important to explain in details how cultural competence will work. Another thing, it is important to understand how the strategy will impact the institution at large. For example, its cultural competence is the same as corporate social responsibility, that is work hand in hand with governors. Corporate social responsibilities and governors are concepts that must be understood in handling cultural competence, and would be enable the various stakeholders to understand their rights and obligation in implementing the projects, and hence a room for further improvement, which reflects to a higher level of success. What kind of action seems warranted? Providing sufficient education concerning the concept of cultural competence is among the major actions to be taken before anything else. It is to enable the audience to understand the concept and its application. It is to enable the various stakeholders to understand what may be required by them in implementing the strategy. It is to enable the user stakeholders to understand how cultural competence may impact the organization, and hence the need for its implementation. In doing so, it becomes easy to implement the strategy. Every stakeholder is working towards a better future. No one would be unwilling to take part in the strategy that will be developed. For instance, teachers will be ready to go for techniques as long as the student can perform well. That's building up their reputation. However, the various stakeholders will be willing to take part if only they understand the concept. And other important action is to involve the various stakeholders in decision making as good concept of good governance. Involving stakeholders can be done through use of representative and making the society aware of the purposes of decision making. That way, that all cultures take active participation in implementing the set goals and objectives, leading to the higher level of success. So here come the references. Thank you for listening.